And let me start the time again. Okay, the time is going now.
Okay, hello, children classmates. My name is Nicole Rojas. As all of you, I'm a student of the English 7 course. And today I'll be talking about attachment styles in relationships. First, let's get started with the presentation agenda. The first thing that I'm going to do is to define what relationship and attachment mean. Then we are going to look an overview of those attachment styles, starting with the anxious style, how people behave in the style of attachment, then the avoidant, and finally the secure attachment. Defining relationships and attachment. There are different types of relationships, as the one that you have with your coworkers, friendship with your parents, your siblings. But today I'll be focusing on what is a romantic relationship. A romantic relationship is that bond that you have with another person between two individuals when they have developed emotional attachment and, of course, they feel in love, so they decide to be in a commitment together. I think that the main factor that can differentiate a romantic relationship from the others is that you have that physical intimacy with your partner. The kisses, the hugs, the intimacy relationships, you only share that with your partner, not with other people. What is an attachment? Attachment is the connection or the way you interact with people to create those bonds. And it's also the behavior that you have with yourself and that you display with other people, in this case, your partner. It is pretty interesting because um, this has roots in childhood. The way that your primary caregiver, your mom or your dad, showed you how love was and the way that they treated you is the way that you're going to perceive love. Even when you grow older, you tend to be attracted to people who behaves like your caregiver in your childhood. Well, um, the first attachment style that I want to share with you, it's called anxious. People that have this type of attachment style is pretty, has a pretty fear of abandonment. They crave love so much that they are also overthinking every situation, and they think that the slightly mood behavior change in behavior from their partners is that they are going to leave them or abandon them. Um, this is due to that they have low self-esteem. They don't think that they are good enough for their partner, so they are trying to prove their own worth to that partner. But by doing that, they tend to have trust issues. They tend to be jealousy people. So they are also controlling of their partner, trying to calm down the anxiety. Um, the avoidant style is all the contrary from the anxious people. They are emotionally distant. They were taught that their feelings or expressing their feelings was a bad thing. Being vulnerable was bad. So they learned to hide and suppress those feelings. Um, they don't like to share about their life so much. They are pretty reserved people, and they have a highly strong sense of independence. They don't like to rely on others, so it is hard for them to have a partner and share personal aspects of their lives because they don't want to be perceived as vulnerable people. And that's why they also can be perceived as people who avoid commitment when things in the relationship get too serious. For example, meeting family, they push people away because they feel like it is too much for them. But it's not that they are afraid of commitment, but of being vulnerable. And finally, we have the attachment style called secure. This is the attachment style that we all should aspire to develop in our romantic life. A couple or people that has a secure attachment is not afraid of showing their vulnerability to their partner. They are not afraid of physical touch, to show that they are sad or they have some personal issues. They also have good communication skills when it comes to um, fights or problems in the relationship. They know how to communicate the needs they have or the things that are bothering them. And also, they think that in the relationship, it has to be some equality, going 50-50. If you have problem, I will support you. But if I have a problem, I hope that support from you. And they also are trustworthiness. They are not thinking as the anxious people that my partner is going to leave me if he talks to me differently or if he goes out is going to cheat on me. They are not thinking of that. They um, have a good um, self-esteem, so they are not thinking that much about it, and they try to create this healthy bond in the relationship, so they can depend on their partner, but they also have their own interests to nurture, and they try to not be codependent of that person, something that tends to happen in anxiety attachment. And of course, they are different from the people who has avoidant style because they know that love is something that you need and that of course you need people in your life that support. That's it.
Excellent, Nicole. There was like 40 seconds extra, but it was okay. Don't worry. Let's begin with the questions. Who wants to be the first in asking questions to Nicole?
Me, teacher.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to do a question. Okay, Nicole. Good afternoon. I
Good
think the topic
afternoon.
you choose. Good afternoon. I think your topic, the topic you choose, is very interesting. I would like to know if you have any advice for a person who resides physical and psychological abuse. However, she doesn't decide to separate from him.
Well, people, the person that you're describing, tend to be on the anxious attachment style. They usually grow being people pleasers. So they have difficulty to say no to people. So that's why it's a tendency that they end up being in abusive and toxic relationships because they crave love so much that they want to do everything to keep that person attached to you. My advice is that they need to recognize those toxic behaviors from their partner and from themselves, and to analyze if that's good to keep or if it's better to leave that relationship and look for advice from your close people, sorry, or to seek professional help. It's also something that can help you because, of course, those relationships are hard to live.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Nicole and Giselle. Next question, guys. Not yet.
Okay. Hello, Nicole.
Hello.
My question is so, uh, do you think that having a security Attaching means that you will have a perfect relationship.
Well, we first have to understand that perfect relationships doesn't exist. Healthy relationships exist, and those come with a lot of work from your partner and from yourself. Having a secure attachment means that you have good communication skills and problem solving skills, that you're able to put in the table all the arguments and things that you want to discuss with your partner in a healthy way without getting him or her um, afraid of talking or angry to this about discussing. It also means that you can go 50-50, but also that if that person needs extra from you, for example 70-30, it's going to be okay with you. It's not about perfect relationships, but work on relationships that are good for you and that you can develop yourself as the best version of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, very good answer. Next question, Maria, Johan, or Cesar? Who wants to be the next?
Me, teacher. Hello, Nicole. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My question about the topic is what can a person do to change from an avoidant style to a more secure one?
Well, the thing with avoidant people or avoidant people with avoidant style is that they are afraid of showing their true feelings. So my advice would be that they have to understand that showing vulnerability is not a bad thing, even though they were taught to look at it this way. They need to analyze themselves subconsciously, uh, to be able to show that tenderness and not being afraid of getting closer to their partners, because this can be perceived as you're not interested, of you're not that much in love with your partner. It is also good to practice empathy, because avoidant people tend to criticize people who show their emotions, and they tend to be afraid or feel disgusted by the idea of people um, showing their love towards them. So they need to practice empathy and to understand that showing your emotions is not a bad thing, it's a good thing.
Thank you so much. And we are missing two questions, Maria
Okay,
and
Nicole,
Johan. Maria.
you, I want to ask you if I had a parent, I don't know, my mother or my father, that show signs of having anxious about the styles, how this behavior does affect me in my daily life.
Okay. Actually, there is a fourth attachment style that is called disorganized attachment style. It means that you can have both traits of an anxious style and avoidant style. So you can want and desire love, but you can also be afraid of it. And I think that's the situation that happen mostly to people nowadays. Um, you need to that's good, that's why it's good to know about this kind of topics, because you can understand a lot of why you behave that way, certain ways, or the things that your parents taught you that maybe wasn't as good as you thought. um Although you're not going to have perfect relationships, as I was talking earlier, you can learn to get better and to improve those behaviors.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent answer too. And Johan, your question?
Me, teacher.
Caesar, sorry, Caesar.
Hello, Nicole.
Hello.
My question is, what other behavior does a person with anxious attachment have?
Okay. I kind of mentioned in the first or second question that people with anxious style can be very people pleasers. They try to find people that they think they can save so they can prove that they are worthy enough for that person. They are also people who are toxic because they need to control the feelings they are experimenting, or to have that reassurance from their partners, um, to see if they are still in love or not. So as they cannot control their behavior in a healthy way, they tend to be a controller of their partners, always checking their phone, going through their phone, or checking where that person is. Um, that people tend to be very toxic, but it's because they don't know how to manage those emotions and behaviors.
Mhm. Perfect, Nico. Thank you so much. Excellent presentation, Nico. I'm gonna
Thank
start
you.
recording the video, your video now. Okay.